Hi, in this video we present Artist, Automated Test Intelligent Specification-based tool. I am André Rincon, and this is joint work with Aurelian Sensi. Artist is an open source tool that uses language model agents to generate, compile, and fix REST API integration tests from an OpenAPI specification. The source code is publicly available in this repository. In the README, you will find everything you need to get started: how to set up the environment, how to install the dependencies, how to run the tool, and all the available parameters. The tool is released under MIT license, so it is free to use. The repository also includes a file called .env.example that documents all available settings, such as which language model to use for each agent, rate limits, the seed for reproducible results, and the Java and Maven paths. You just copy that file to .env and fill in your own values. Before running Artist, the service we want to test needs to be up and running. Here, our target is the REST counters API. I started with this command, and once it is responding on port 88, we are ready to go. Now I will run Artist in its most complete mode with OpenAPI spec, the source code, and implementation jar. As soon as Artist starts, all the agents come to life one by one, each one with its own language model. Notice that the test corrector uses a different model, Cloud Sonnet, while the others use Kim. This is one of Artist's features. You can assign a different model to each agent. Once everything is ready, phase 1 begins. Artist reads the spec and the 21 Java source files and builds 156 test scenarios. Then it creates the Maven project, copies the implementation jar into it, and splits the scenario across 23 endpoint groups. From here, each group will be generated, compiled, and tested on its own. The planner agent reads the spec and creates a list of positive and negative test cases, one for each documented test code, removing any repeated ones along the way. Then the generator agent takes those test cases and writes one complete the unit class, where the language model fills in the test bodies and the templates keep the structure clean and consistent. Next, Artist compiles the project. If something fails, the compile corrector agent sends the error back to the model for a fix. And if it still cannot be fixed after several tries, the file is renamed to .java.r and is kept so the other groups keep going. Finally, Artist runs the tests. When a test fails, the corrector agent tries to fix it, but only forward to the spec. It is not allowed to change the test to accept what the code returns. If the problem cannot be resolved, the test gets an @ignore that with a short note explains exactly what the spec says and what the API actually does. That record stays here from the testers to act on. This whole cycle repeats for every endpoint group in the spec. Now we get the last phase, HTTP 500 tests. This phase only runs when the implementation jar is provided. Artists create dedicated test 500.java classes using Jersey and Mockito. These classes mock the internal parts of the API to trigger the 500 responses listed in the spec, without changing or touch the running service. Here are the results. Artist creates a complete Maven project ready to run with MVN test. Each active test checks exactly what the spec says, the right status code, and the expected response only. And here is a test that was put aside. The @ignore that tag comes with a short note pointing to exactly what the spec says and what the API actually returns. This is what I mentioned earlier. Artist never deletes a test. It keeps a clear record of every mismatch between the spec and the code, and the tester decides what to do next. Finally, using an additional coverage tool, we can see how well the generate test cover the API, even work strictly from the spec. Artists reach a high coverage for endpoints and for status code pairs. Artist shows that a multi-agent language model pipeline can produce tests that follow the specification and keep a full record of every mismatch. The code, the documentation, and the full project are available in the repository linked in the paper. Thanks for watching.